A very pleasant good afternoon as we welcome you into another edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead Show on this Thursday afternoon as we get ready for college football semifinal action. Tonight, tonight will be Ole Miss, and I'm rooting for the Rebels, let the record clearly show, taking on Miami. I think most of America is rooting for Ole Miss, or more accurately, against Lane Kiffin. Even though Lane Kiffin wins when Ole Miss wins, that's another story. Ole Miss and Miami tonight, 7:30, and then tomorrow night, Oregon and Indiana. So we know a Big Ten team will be involved in the national championship game, which will be a week from Monday. Down in Miami tonight is the Fiesta Bowl, and then tomorrow night the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. And, of course, the NFL playoffs get underway this weekend as well. A couple of games Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and then, of course, the big one. They always save the best for last, Goon. Monday night, the beloved Steelers, ready to win their first playoff game in some 9 seasons. Against the Houston Texans.
So the best analogy I heard of the Miami Hurricanes team. They are like the New York Mets. You don't hear about them when they're not doing well, but when they're doing well, everybody in their mother, they come out of the woodwork as super fans, and they're loud and obnoxious. And I never thought I'd root for Ole Miss, but I think I have to root for Ole Miss.
Yeah, I'm with you on both counts.
I'm not a fan of the Miami Hurricanes. I did hear that Michael Irvin's been at the arena for a week now. He's having his own. He's watching his own football games that he actually are not taking place, but they are in his head. And he's doing push-ups and wind sprints and mounds of blow. Get ready for this game. So, no, I mean, honest to God, do you think that you'd be rooting for an SEC team?
Nope.
In any kind of bowl game whatsoever, Never. But I just can't go for Miami. But I did see an interview with Cristobal yesterday.
I do.
He sort of grew on me a little bit, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He's an offensive lineman at heart and physically, but he's he's a really, 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 really big time recruiter type of thing. So, he got that little car salesman to him and stuff like that, but you have to. But I mean, I just listening to him talking about him growing up in the Miami area. His parents were, they were obviously Cuban immigrants, didn't speak the language. They each had 2 jobs, and they went to school at night to get him and his brother educated. And then they obviously both earned scholarships to Miami to play football. So it was one of those American dreams made come true. And I don't know. I sort of felt for him a little bit and this and that. Then I remembered he coached in Miami, and I was like, can't do it. But I don't think I can't root for Lane Kiffin either. If he wins, God,
no, can never root for Lane Kiffin. Never again.
No. Now his kids and his staff, I can root for. I can get on board to root for them.
Well, it is going to be interesting, because Ole Miss not only lost its head coach, but now this week several assistants. So exactly how this thing gets managed by Ole Miss, I think, is in and of itself an intriguing storyline. And it's just going to be an interesting game. I think on paper it's a fairly even matchup. I think Ole Miss is dealing with a situation in the playoffs that we just haven't seen and is really unusual. And, to this point, they've obviously navigated it very well. I think there is a chip on their shoulder, the likes of which I don't know we've seen either in the playoffs. And they certainly are wanting to prove their point that with or without Lane Kiffin, this is a really special team and a team that can go win a national championship. The Indiana-Oregon game tomorrow night, Goon, is to me just fascinating. And it just, I think we talked about it a little bit on Tuesday, but Indiana just, to me, what they are doing and the way they are doing it they just continue to redefine what is possible. Not just in Indiana. I mean, you start there, and I actually saw. I meant to write it down, and I didn't because that's the kind of idiot I am. Oh, I forget who it was. I think it was an ESPN personality, but they were saying, "Listen, everybody's making this out to be a great story with Indiana." He goes, why wouldn't you expect this team with all of the resources it now has? Like, this isn't a Cinderella story. And I'm like, okay, hold on. Yes, I get that the resources have been poured in there. But to say that this isn't, because the resources have been poured into a bunch of programs,
Correct.
and none of them historically as bad as Indiana, and historically great programs have had more money even than Indiana poured into them, and they're not here. So I understand as far as it goes that, like, this isn't just out of nowhere came Indiana, but also the fact that they're in the Final Four, and if they do go on and win the national title, but even that they're in the Final Four, yeah, they have great resources, but again, they're not the resources that are available at the top 5 or 6 programs still. Like, they're not matching up with Texas A&M or Texas, now LSU. With LSU. Right. So, I mean, it's still an amazing story. And regardless of the resources, what Curt Cignetti has been able to do in terms of consistently putting out an incredible product in his 2 seasons there, like that we have not seen before. And we have great coaches. I mean, Kirby Smart's won a couple of national titles, has all of the resources. They're not there. So fine if you want to say this isn't like George Mason getting to the Final Four, but this is still a pretty huge story. And it is still a remarkable performance by Curt Cignetti as head coach and by these players as a program. And certainly Mendoza, I mean, every time I listen to this guy talk, I'm like, yep, that dude is just a champion. Regardless of whether they win the title, what he does in the NFL, that guy has a champion's mentality. When you listen to him, you're like, oh, yeah, that's what I want in a leader. That's the guy. He has the enthusiasm. He has the humility. He has the big picture perspective. He's able to dial in, though, on the moment. All of the things that you're looking for. It's like, man, that guy has it. And I keep coming back to it because what was most impressive to me about Indiana this season is it wasn't just Mendoza. It wasn't that they were able to put up a bunch of points, although Mendoza is terrific and they were able to put up a bunch of points. It is that they will punch you in the mouth, and it doesn't matter if it's Alabama, Ohio State, Oregon. I mean, they are a physical football team.
They thumped Alabama big time.
Hammered them up front.
Yeah.
Just hammered them.
Destroyed them.
Now, Oregon has very good lines as well, and I do think I think this is going to be a different game. And where I was going with the Indiana, they just keep defying everything. Again, we talked about this a little bit on Tuesday, but teams with a bye in the first round of the playoffs are now 1-7. Everybody has lost except, look at that, Indiana.
In said thumping of Alabama.
If they win this game, and I don't think it's a given, I think it is going to be a great game. I think Oregon is also extremely well coached. Obviously, they are going to be very motivated, and they keep putting up the statistics that, like, the teams that meet, and especially even more so in the same conference. In fact, I don't think a team – when two teams play in the regular season and then meet again in the postseason, whether it's a bowl game or now the playoffs, the team that lost the regular season matchup has won every time. And you're like, well, I mean, come on, it's history. Oregon's got this. Except that Indiana isn't like all of those other programs. The way Curt Cignetti has these guys dialed in, the way Mendoza is playing, and again, this game I think is super intriguing because last year, Oregon, it felt like that was Oregon's year, right? They went in as the 1 seed, and then they were one of the teams that had the bye week and then lost. And I think they now come in with a bit of a chip on their shoulder because of that. Only loss this season was to Indiana, and it was a good game. But I think Oregon, if you go back and watch that game, they looked flat, and they said they were flat. They were coming off of the win over Penn State, and that was an emotionally and physically exhausting game. And so I think Oregon will be better than it was in that first meeting.
Sure.
I also think Indiana is light years ahead of where it was in that first meeting, which, by the way, you would expect good teams, well-coached teams, yeah, you ought to be better 2 months later than you were earlier in the season. That's what good coaching does, is get you playing better and better as the season goes along. So I'm fascinated by the matchup. It's just at the end of the day, how do you not have faith in Curt Cignetti in Indiana and the way this team continues to just take care of business regardless of what history says, what the circumstances say, what anything else would dictate a result should be? Indiana just goes out and says, no, we're going to play better, more fundamental, more physical football, and we're going to come up with the plays when we need to. And they've done that more consistently, better than any other team in college football this season, at least heading into tomorrow night's game.
And let's go back to that thumping of Alabama. Who won the player of the game on offense in the Rose Bowl this year, Jeffrey? That would be the Indiana offensive line. I had no idea that one of the guys is from the Notre Dame team of last year. That was a really, really good offensive line, and that kid's the center on this year's Indiana team. So he got in the portal and made some money this year. Well, with that said, their offensive line is very good. They are a physical bunch that the other three teams are not going to be ready for physically. Whoever they play, if they could beat Oregon and get into the national title game, they better be ready for a physical game, because Cignetti has these guys pumping on all cylinders right now. They're rolling. The offensive and defensive line is just smacking people around. So, you know what I'm always going to say, and that's I got to go with Indiana when it comes to the offensive line play. But Oregon has got a real good offensive line too, huge.
And they felt it. I mean, they felt Indiana. They know what they're getting in for. Again,
exactly.
I think both teams are better than they were in that first meeting. But Oregon, I think against a very physical Texas Tech team was able to also dictate things up
very
front.
Physical
Texas
Tech team. That game's on right now. I'm watching, and I was like, man, I forgot how actually close it was and how much that Texas Tech defensive line controlled early in this game. But Oregon pounded through it, got through it, and ended up getting the win in the end. So
yeah,
it's going to be two heck of it nights right here. I mean, all the next 5 days. The next 5 nights are awesome.
It's going to be fun.
It's not just football games that when my mother-in-law would be like, oh, football, yay. It is win or go home football.
Yep.
All of them. All the games. Thursday, Friday, Monday, 2 on Saturday, and 3 on Sunday, baby. It's going to be a heck of a weekend, man. I'm very, very much looking forward to it. Good rehab.
Yeah.
It's good rehab time. The pressure off the back a little bit, sit down. Take the weight off a little bit, have a couple cold ones, some appetizers.
Why not?
And some football, Ironhead, and some football. Yeah, but they're all these games mean everything. So it's not like, you're not just watch games. These are literally, winning, play for the national title the next 2 nights, and then the playoffs in the NFL, or just some great, absolute great matchups that are going down. I mean, every one of them has a great matchup, in my opinion. I don't think there's one that's not like, well, I don't want to watch that game. That game's going to suck. I don't see that. No. Are there games that could turn in and probably will turn in the blowouts? I'm sure. That's just how the playoffs work. But looking forward to the whole weekend. Looking forward to starting tonight up through Monday night, man. We got to get on all 5 days of picks for our show Tuesday.
Yeah.
You going to call in sick when the
storylines galore.
When the Steelers get whooped up, or they get whooped
what
up?
Are you talking about?
Not going to get whooped up. They are or not? Come on.
No. Steelers, they're Super Bowl bound now. We're ready to roll, baby. Optimism reigns supreme.
So you're like the Eagles fans right now who think that the offensive coordinator has been holding off the whole season.
There you go.
And then has a whole different offense set up for the playoffs.
Listen, I do think they have a reasonable shot here against the Texans. They are going to have to play. The Steelers will have to play their best offensive game of the season. I don't think there's any doubt about that in order to advance. I think the Texans have, if not the best defense in the NFL, certainly one of them. And it is a physical group. It is an extremely good tackling team. And so, for the Steelers, it is make the catches. And getting DK Metcalf back, you hope,
where's he?
Helps in that regard. You hope that Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith are significant parts of the Steelers' game planning this week. And again, you've got to make the catches. If you can get some yards after catch here and there, all the better. That has been really hard to do against the Texans all season long. But take the 4 or 5 yards where you can get it. See if you can get that running game going. Again, much easier said than done against the Texans. But the other part of it, I mean, the Steelers' defense has to show up huge. You can't have the breakdowns, the guys getting behind everybody in the secondary. You've got to get pressure on C.J. Stroud and keep him contained. Both get pressure, but also not open up the huge avenues where it's like, oh, yeah, we pressured him, and there he went for a 15-yard gain. So they are up against it. I mean, I don't think it is an easy task for sure, but I do like the fact that it is in Pittsburgh and that it's a Monday night game. Tomlin's record is good there. I think the Steelers feel good playing at Acrisure. It's as healthy defensively as the Steelers have been. And again, with DK Metcalf back and Calvin Austin having the big catch wide open, mind you, against the Ravens, there is some reason for optimism. I think if you're a Steelers fan, and Aaron Rodgers, this may very well be the last go around. Don't know that for sure, but you do know he's going to be very motivated. He wants to deliver for himself, for his teammates, for Pittsburgh. And while he's not what he once was, the old Toby Keith, I'm as good once as I ever was. Well, can he be as good as he ever was just for that one game, or maybe even just the one pass or two that the Steelers need somewhere along the way? So, going in, you at least think the Steelers need to keep this a low-scoring game. They've got to do a very good job on tackling, being disciplined on defense, maybe create a turnover or two, and they've just got to have the game of their season offensively. And that doesn't mean big plays up and down or, consistently 15-yard drives, but, hey, maybe get a big play here or there. Maybe put together a 15-play drive where, you just do everything right. You have one of the best field goal kickers in the nation and in the NFL, and try to let him be the difference if you can. Make this a 3-4 point game and try to grind it out is I think the recipe for the Steelers. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited that they have the opportunity. certainly they know if they lose, the fire Tomlin chance will come out. The same refrain that we were hearing with James Franklin. Yep, Tomlin's a good coach, but he's never going to get them back over the top again, and all of that, it comes into play. You win this game, and then I think you're playing a little more with house money. Obviously, you can't then turn around and just get your doors blown out by the Broncos and say, yep, everything was great. But I think if you can go out and at least be competitive, very competitive in that game, it feels like, oh, you know what, took another step in the right direction. Now, ultimately, moving forward, the Steelers, the big issue is still they've got to find their quarterback of the future. And, could Will Howard be that? I suppose it doesn't. You don't have that feeling right at the moment, but we haven't seen him this year. And, I know Ty Simpson's coming out. I've seen a couple of stories saying, oh, the Steelers got to get Ty Simpson. Listen, it could have proved to be terrific, and he could prove to be a great NFL quarterback. I will tell you, as we sit here right now, Goon, getting Ty Simpson does not put me at ease that the Steelers now will not have a quarterback issue for another decade plus. It's not where my mind is with Mr. Simpson. But that isn't to say, again, quarterbacks and how they translate to the NFL. Good luck trying to figure that out with any certainty.
The top two are Mendoza and Moore from Oregon.
Yeah, and they'll be gone
we're
before
going to see
Steelers.
that. They're projected 1 and 2. But does anybody in college football really move the needle for a Steelers quarterback?
I mean, not once you get past those two this year. No,
it's not there. I mean, again, it goes back to we're not creating NFL quarterbacks in college anymore, and it starts at the lower levels. And you've heard. I have talked about this for the 5, 6, 7, 8, 20 years we've been doing this show, and that is that, you and I grew up, the best player on the team was the running back. The most athletic, fastest kid was the running back, but you know what? 25 years ago, there was a switch to say, you know what? We should get to put our best athlete, best player, and our fastest player at quarterback. Let him make a play every time he touches the ball. Every time he can throw, he can run, he can do this or do that. So, and that's worked its way in the NFL. We don't have what we would consider classic drop back Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers type, strong arm, big guys, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. We're not seeing those guys anymore coming out of the college ranks. So it's tough. It's a tough thing. It's like recruiting offensive linemen from high school, from smaller schools. You have no idea how they're going to react. You have no idea how they're going to match up with somebody who's their own size because you've never seen them on film because they've never had to do it. So it's crapshoot. And that's a lot to do with the quarterbacks in the NFL, man. So it's crazy. It's going to be – I mean, I'm thinking like Harson Beck. I'm like watching him. He is a hell of a college quarterback.
Yeah.
Does that translate to NFL quarterback? I don't know. I don't know if – I don't even know if Mendoza is – going to be a great college or NFL quarterback. You can't just sit there and say this guy's there's no miss. He's a can't miss kid. You don't see that anymore at the quarterback position because you just have no idea. Because it's a different game in the NFL than it is in college.
Yeah, completely. The way Mendoza is wired makes me think that he will translate well. But you're right.
Brady, like he'll just dissect defenses because he's so smart and know exactly what he has to do.
And he just seems to have such a good handle on what he needs to do, what his role is, how he needs to do it. But again, it's different when you get to the NFL, and it'll be a different type of locker room, all of the things that come into play. And you're right. You don't know with any certainty how games will translate from one level to the next, but I like Mendoza's chances. That's for sure. He's a special special kid, has a special mindset, and obviously that matchup between quarterbacks is one of the many compelling storylines in that matchup tomorrow night.
But he reminds me of Kirk Cousins. Not just like he always has that little smirky smile on his face. Like, hey, hey, dude, the kid can play, man. The kid can play the game of football. He can quarterback, brother. He's very, very good.
Yeah,
that should be a hell of a matchup, and tonight should be a hell of a matchup. The Indiana, Oregon, obviously, we're watching the offensive lines play, but like Miami's a lot more physical than people give them credit for. They are very, very, very physical.
No doubt.
And they could take my Ole Miss behind the woodshed and smack them around a little bit. We just don't know how good the SEC really was. I mean, you buy in, everybody just constantly buys into them and can say, oh, they're SEC, they're great. They're a great team. I mean, hell, Indiana embarrassed their third best team. Ole Miss took care of their second best team. So I mean, Ole Miss is the best team, but half the staff is gone.
Yeah,
it's crazy to think about. So where are they getting their replacement coaches from? Are they just hiring them off the street? Are they just like guys that were like assistants now, or full-time guys now?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think it's just people stepping up in house, and it's a very interesting dynamic, and to see how it plays out tonight, right, is just that is going to be one of the intriguing parts of this game. Is does it just look like a normal college coaching operation on the sideline, or are you going to be able to tell, if you're tuning in and you didn't know what the situation was, would you say, man, this just doesn't look like an efficient?
Well, they look
and I don't know.
Georgia, I mean, you think about
really
that,
good there, but they had their assistants in for that one.
Lane Kiffin was the offensive coordinator the whole season.
Yeah.
Then they go into this bowl game against Georgia, and they whoop down up on Georgia. Get to the Final Four right now. I mean, did they lose that play caller now? Is he now at LSU? I'll find out in our commercial.
Yeah.
See how many coaches actually left and who stayed.
Yeah. We'll take a break here, and we will be back with much more. Talk some Penn State hoops when we return as well. You are listening to the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show, and streaming today at 98.7thefox.info as
From decorating the tree to family dinners, gift exchanges, and get-togethers, the holidays are filled with traditions. Why not start a new one this year with a Kia during the Season of New Tradition sales event at Lion Country Kia? No matter where you're traveling this holiday season, the spacious 7-seater 2025 Kia Telluride can get you there. Lion Country Kia has 16 available with as low as 0.9% APR for up to 60 months or up to $2,000 in Kia finance rebates. But that's not all. Lion Country Kia has a great selection of Kia Serenos, Sportages, Seltos, and more. There's 84 vehicles ready to move. And many have Kia's Season of New Tradition sales event retail bonus cash as high as $1,000. Happy holidays from the staff at Lion Country Kia, 1334 Drivewood Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again.
The Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority. WFXS America.
98.7, The Fox, State College.
And we are back here on a Thursday afternoon. It is the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. We're coming to you from Quaker Steak and Lube, our home away from home. Great place to come on down and watch all of this great football action over the next 5 days. All of your other favorite sports action available on the TVs down here, which are all over the place. Obviously, a great selection of food. If you've not been here in a while, really, the menu, it is amazing to me how expansive the menu is here, Goon. That they just have seemingly everything that you could possibly want, and it's all delicious. I mean, they are obviously famous for their wings. They have great beverages here to wash everything down with. But man, I'm telling you, there's if you want to do some experimenting, you can do that and try a little something different every time you're here, and you'll be able to do that for many visits at Quaker Steak and Lube. And again, best staff around, hands down.
All of our, I drove by Kia on the way up here to work, and they're absolutely loaded with used cars right now. So
they're
them.
Terrific.
Timberland Federal Credit Union, I do all my work with them there. They're fantastic to us, take care of us very well. And our girl Ann Lusk there with the realtor group there. So they've been very good to us, and our sponsors have been very, very good to us.
Nope, very, very fortunate.
Congratulations, we just signed a new deal with the Lube.
Work
another year,
people.
another year, Jeffrey.
I absolutely love it, and we're very appreciative to Mr. Powers and everybody involved here at Quaker Steak and Lube. Penn State Hoops, Goon, man, so close. DeLeon's shot goes off the back of the iron there as time expired, and the Nittany Lions fall to undefeated second-ranked Michigan, 74-72, Tuesday night. We talked about it going into the game. I keep seeing people ripping on the fans, and I mean, fine, you can have your opinions. And you've talked about this for a long time, many years ago. And the weekday night games, and it just seems like that is almost all Penn State has. I know it's not the case, but man, they have a lot more weeknight games than they do the the Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening contests, which are the ideal for fans that are traveling in from outside the State College area. But so just again, a few things. Just and you can have your opinion. And man, it's embarrassing, and the fans should show up. Okay, students aren't in town. Number one. Now, I will say I don't think students go to sporting events, even football, the way they did when I was in school. And I'm not saying that. Man, we were superior. Maybe they're finding better things to do with their time. That's fine. But they're just not. They don't come out and support the teams in general the way they once did. And even, again, the football crowds, always been a late arriving student section, with the exception of, maybe the whiteout game, maybe one other. But, generally speaking, it's a late arriving crowd. And there were large swaths of the student section and the stadium in general that were empty as the second half of the season unfolded. Well, what was the difference between the first? Well, they weren't having success. Well, why aren't fans showing up in droves for Penn State basketball? They're now 0-4 in the Big Ten. I think that the lack of success at the moment, the fact that you're relying on that students weren't there, that you're relying on people from beyond the State College area to come in, and then you throw into the fact that there is competition for the entertainment dollar and even the sports entertainment dollar, even on this campus. And in the winter sports season, you happen to have an elite hockey program, a program that feels like it could go win a national title this season after getting the Frozen Four last year. You have a wrestling program that is one of the great dynasties in college sports history, really. And yeah, it's hard to get a lot of people in there and jazzed up. Now you start having more success. You get a few more weekend games. You get the students back. The numbers should go up. Getting a performance like they had Tuesday night, if you're watching that at home on the TV, you know what? Maybe I should go up and check that out in person. But, the other part, as we've talked about, I think, the hassle with parking, the cost of everything. People are making choices. Yep. You have to figure out what's within your budget. And, again, there's going to be some fans that, can afford anything, and here you go, and fine. But a lot of folks, it's like, I'd love to get to a bunch of games. I can afford maybe getting to one or two. And maybe getting to, if you're, I can get to a few sporting events over the winter. Well, if you're trying to pick sporting events, and again, you have an outdoor hockey game coming up, you have a couple of Jordan Center wrestling matches with top programs in the country coming in. Hockey games. I don't know. I'm a lot less critical of the Penn State basketball fans not showing up than a lot of folks seem to be. Regardless, the effort and the performance was terrific. You wanted for Mike Rhodes and for this team that final shot to just fall in so you could at least have that moment and build on it. What I am really curious about, and Mike Rhodes touched on it in the post-game press conference, Goon, is can they, and it's a really young team. I think Josh Reed is the only senior on that roster, and it's the guys that most of the contributors are freshmen and sophomores. You obviously have, DeLeon's terrific as a junior and the other guys in there, but it is a young team, and you expect some inconsistency with a young team. what the question to me is, can you translate the effort and performance Tuesday night at home when you go on the road against another elite program in Purdue here this weekend? And that's a tall order.
They went Illinois, Penn State, Illinois, Michigan,
this start,
and then Purdue.
This start to the conference schedule has been brutal. No question about it. But you would love to see this team, if not go out and beat Purdue, be really competitive, make this a game that is in doubt going into the final few minutes, and be able to at least build confidence-wise, maybe even performance-wise on what we saw Tuesday night, because I think what you saw Tuesday night was a team that was really dialed in.
Yeah. Did Mingo? I mean, I didn't have volume going. Mingo wasn't out there.
No,
he was hurt, right?
Correct. He did not play.
And that's your top players out, and they came out with that kind of effort and took the number 2 team, an undefeated team, to the wire. I had a shot.
Yeah, don't
like the shot that they took, but that's on another conversation.
Yeah,
but they had a shot, got the shot off, and it rimmed out. Would have been amazing, obviously, but great effort by the guys. And then I texted Mike Rojas. I said, "Listen, I know you're not one of those guys who." Psychological victories and stuff like that. He doesn't play like that. I mean, a win is a win, a loss is a loss. So, but you like where they're going. You like the fight of the team. They weren't afraid of the big bad Michigan Wolverines. And 5,400 people in a crowd could be a benefit to us because the other team's sitting there going, "What in the hell is going on here?" And they can't adjust to it. It's a tough place to play with that background. If it's not being full, trust me, it's. Me and you, remember like 4 years ago, they asked us to go over there and do some celebrity 3-point shooting and free throw shooting.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And you don't realize the depth. It's not like playing in your backyard or your high school gym or anything like that because the distance in the background it's huge.
We need a Gene Hackman out there. It's how tall is it to that rim? How tall is it?
I was like, what the hell's going on? What did they raise the rim to 14?
It is a different feel for sure.
Why is the rim at 14 feet? I have no idea why. But the expansive background when you're shooting and that dead back, it is a thing, man. And, you got these big teams coming in like Michigan, and they didn't handle it well. So we got to finish that game off.
Yeah.
But effort by the boys, but again,
the lockdown defensively was
very nice.
Was impressive. Again, that is a
good team,
really good Michigan team, and really same thing with Purdue. I mean, both of those teams. Like, would you be shocked to see them cutting down the nets at the end of the year? Because I wouldn't. I think both of them and Michigan State, at least those three, I think. Again, would not be surprised to see any one of them in the Final Four or ultimately winning the title here at season's end. So you kind of know what Penn State is capable of. It's now, can you get a good performance on the road, and can you start to establish some consistency here with what you're seeing night in, night out, week in, week out over the remainder of the season? Because again, and I think the future is bright. And to do what they did, as you said, without Caden Mingo in there, I think ought to have that group feeling very confident about what they're capable of doing moving forward. And we'll see. Again, we're cut out, obviously, going to Purdue. Not exactly a recipe for great success normally, but we'll see what they can follow up that outstanding effort Tuesday night with here on Saturday. Couple of other notes. Obviously, Penn State hockey getting ready to take on Minnesota. Big Big Ten series.
Let's get back into it, baby.
This weekend, tomorrow and Saturday. And if you're looking for comparisons, I mean, this is kind of when they started getting on their run last year, and then obviously ended up in the Frozen Four. You'd love to see them come out and get a couple of W's this weekend and really kind of start to flex their muscle a little bit. The shutout loss, and again, it was a great performance by the goalie, but you're just looking at this roster and lineup, and I know McKenna wasn't there, obviously, for the weekend, but you're looking at this roster like there's no way anybody should be shutting out this team. There's so much offensive firepower there. And we'll see if they can get things rolling here with the Minnesota series starting things off here in conference with the new year.
Yeah, I was with Guy last night at the little celebration of life for our friend Mikey. He was talking. Over the break, Guy was the head coach of a collegiate national hockey team that went over to Europe.
Yep,
and they were picked last. America was the last. They were supposed to finish last, and he had them. He played for the gold medal. So they came in second place, and then and they were supposed to come. They weren't even supposed to medal at all. Actually, they were picked to finish last. So the typical Guy Godowski team, you know what I mean? Just like peaking at the right time. He had these guys motivated and rocking and rolling. So I was talking to him last night. He's all kinds of juiced up for this. Sure. Get into the thick of the battles right now. And this is when we're going to start, separating and catching up to people, separating the great teams from the good teams, and it starts tonight. Or tomorrow, I'm sorry, with Minnesota, with the Gophers.
Yep.
That's a rivalry they had going on for a couple of years now. Minnesota's a little bit down, but it doesn't matter. They don't like each other. I don't think that they have any kind of love for each other. So, throw it all out the window when the two rivals go head to head. So, great football weekend, great hockey weekend. Just great sports in the next few months here.
It is. Yep.
Yeah.
Great time of the year to be a sports fan. Of course, wrestling gears back up here.
They're okay
against Rutgers Saturday afternoon. A lot of speculation about 141 for Penn State. Braden Davis certainly makes a lot of sense, but you have to have the conversation. And again, I think most of these guys, if not all of them, are team first guys. And hey, if the team needs me, I'm ready to go. And I think Braden, see what he did at the Kaufman Open over the weekend in Edinburgh, all 4 wins, bonus point variety, and just looked good. Again, not against the best competition you could possibly face out there. Understand that, but he has grown into being a true 141 pounder. And, we saw last year what he's capable of at the very least, getting on the podium. And so, it makes a lot of sense if everybody's on board with that. And kind of if you have a pretty good sense that Aaron Nagao is not going to be back. And I think a lot of folks are presuming that. But, that's something the medical staff and the coaches have to get together on. And hey, is that the case? Is it at least very unlikely that he gets back this season to such a point that he can make a run? But they do have they are in a really good position right now as a program in that one, if you don't get scoring in the postseason from a weight class, it's not exactly the end of the world. Again, you've got 8 guys right now ranked in the top 5, and then Cole Mirasole in the Intermat rankings this week ranked 15th. And I think, Mirasole and a few of the others are probably ranked a little low, at least in my mind, of where they're going to finish up here at the end of the year. But you also do have Nate Desmond, who has filled in admirably, certainly undersized at 141, but you'd still have some more time to work on bulking him up and getting him closer to being a true 41 pounder. And that is obviously an option. Nasdio actually, I think is coming along as well. And obviously filled in earlier in the year as well for Nagao. So again, they have options there. It's trying to get everybody on the same page. And if Braden Davis goes out on Saturday, pretty good indication that Davis is going to be the guy moving forward. And it is one of those things where I think they have to make the call sooner rather than later, because if it is Davis, you'd like to get him the 15 matches here to get the qualifying spot for the conference assured. And, I think Braden Davis doesn't necessarily need the matches. I mean, he's going to qualify if it is him for nationals. I think he'll do what he needs to get that done at the Big Ten tournament. But on behalf of the conference, you'd like to see him qualify another spot for the Big Ten and make sure, you're getting as many allocations for the conference as you can. So if that is the route they're going, you would think you certainly, if not Saturday against Rutgers, would need to get him out there for the Iowa Northwestern meets the following week. But we'll find out Saturday afternoon.
So with the Saturday match, is this considered like a bye weekend?
Yeah, it's a weird.
Just having one match. Usually you have two.
Yeah, it's weird to have it on a Saturday. I mean, we have other single match weekends, but it's usually either Friday night or Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
It is unusual for sure to have just a Saturday afternoon match for the Big Ten and for Penn State. I'm not sure it's that big of a deal for the wrestlers or anything, but for the fans, it's just unusual. I don't think it's necessarily good or bad, but a 4:00 start on a Saturday when you're used to either 7 or 8 on Friday night and either anywhere from noon to 2 on Sunday, generally speaking, it's just different. I don't think it's a big deal one way or the other. It will be. The one way that it could be a slightly bigger deal is traffic. And I will say, if you're heading up to that meet on Saturday, I would give yourself a little extra time. Just it'll be move-in weekend for the students. Now, it's not move-in weekend like you have in August where everybody's moving everything in for the first time. But a lot of people coming in and I'm assuming a good number of them will be coming in on Saturday to get things set up for the spring semester here. So just again,
kids.
Give yourself a little extra time if you are coming up on campus for that Penn State Rutgers dual meet on Saturday.
With the football schedule that's going on this weekend, I'd have to tell one of my kids, like, hey, we're going to leave really early Monday morning.
There you go.
Or we're going to go
Friday. I don't know if you can get in Friday, at least to the door.
Saturday at 6 a.m., and I got to be done by noon. That's the bottom line. That's it. That's it. And I'm home.
Excuse me. Yep, there you go.
Can't miss no games, man. Can't miss no games.
Yep, it'll be it'll be
probably a good thing I don't have kids, maybe. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I know the kids I have, I just got to feed and poop. That's it.
There you go.
There you go. They seem
something to be said for
fine.
that. Something to be said for that, for sure.
What do you got going on? Anything? You going anywhere?
You
just have the match this weekend?
Yeah, the Mad Turtle is finally back from his serious injuries, and so he'll have his first. It's a scrimmage on Sunday. He'll have his first wrestling competition. So
he's wrestling.
Yep. So we're looking
I was
forward
thinking
to
hoops,
to
man.
that.
I was like, he's got a hoop game. No. He's going.
He wrestles and he does rock climbing. He got his first rock climbing in 3 months or so on Tuesday, and we're heading back up tonight. So
he recovered well.
Good,
Everything's
good
back
for that. Seems to be. I think we're a little exhausted. We have had. This will be the second rock climbing tonight. 2 hours each night, hour of wrestling practice. We also threw in a dodgeball event that he had on Monday afternoon. So I think as this week has progressed, we're realizing that to go from basically no physical activity for a couple of months to the schedule we've had this week, taking a little bit of a toll. The Mad Turtle generally is an early riser. He has not been an early riser this week. We are sleeping in a bit, which I think is a good thing for him.
Did he start school back this past week?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, all good stuff. Deontay Sheffy, the State College running back, had been a Syracuse commit, now is committed to Penn State. Interesting I'll be curious to see how he does. Penn State is, again, stacked at running back. But this is just me personally. I like it when Penn State sports, any sport, gets a little bit of a local flavor. We've had a Penns Valley kid on the wrestling team here for the last 6 seasons, I guess, between Ty Watson and Baylor Shunk, and obviously had Quentin Wright from Bald Eagle area before that. You have the Cunninghams in there. Is it imperative that they have it? Is it indicative of any problems or anything? If you don't know, it's just as somebody that grew up in the area that loves Center County sports, yep. I like it when there is at least a Center County kid on the roster. And I think, Sheffy did put up some very good numbers. And I think if nothing else, he's just a good guy to have in the program. And I'm not sitting here telling you that he can't, he's not going to have a career on the field. He may very well. But I'm saying regardless of that, I think getting a State College kid in the program, I like it. And I like the what I think he'll bring to the table beyond his athleticism. And he is certainly athletic. And, I don't know if I would be curious if with the depth they have at running back, if they would look, or if he would be willing himself to look at, hey, is there another spot on the field? And I don't know.
Safety.
I have no idea. Maybe they've told him, nope, you're a running back, and that's what we watch, and that's what he said. I have no idea, but it feels, outside looking in, having no idea on the conversations, that he's a guy that might be able to find another spot if that running back room is as talented and deep as it seems to be. And again, in this world of college football, that can change for a variety of reasons in a heartbeat, and I understand that. But regardless, I was really glad to see Deontay Sheffy committing to Penn State. I think that's a great gap.
My old guy played at me, Mikey Lukac. His son committed as a preferred walk-on last night. I saw on Facebook and social media. I didn't know we were doing walk-ons anymore.
I thought it was
105, and that was it, right? I got research.
That's
on that.
my understanding.
I'm going to do some research on that one. But if they are, having guys in the team that are non-scholarship, though, I mean, I thought that was done away with. So I got a real kid.
I think that is done away with.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? You're going to have 105 guys in your team, and you're either a full scholarship guy or you're nothing.
Yeah,
that's nuts, man. But that's the way it is.
Well, no, it's not or nothing. It's you're a full scholarship guy.
Yeah, and then it's just easier, I guess, to break the pie up and not having. Because I guess that there was when the NIL, I guess that Aeneas had told me this like 3 or 4 years ago, that when they announced the NIL and the revenue sharing stuff, that they were like, hey, anybody who's a walk-on, you got to get out of here. I think it was probably one of the most awkward meetings they've ever had, because the walk-ons were like, oh, this is bullshit, and then the other guys are like, oh, hell yeah, half the team, all, 105 guys or 85, whatever they had before, are happy. Then the other guys that were walk-ons were not happy. So,
yeah, it's just such a different world. Such a different world. All right, we'll take a break here. We are back with another whole hour of the Goon and Ironhead show on the other side of this timeout. It is our Thursday edition, and we roll on here at 98.7 The Fox.
From decorating the tree to family dinners, gift exchanges, and get-togethers, the holidays are filled with traditions. Why not start a new one this year with a Kia during the Season of New Tradition sales event at Lion Country Kia?
No
No matter where you're traveling this holiday season, the spacious 7-seater 2025 Kia Telluride can get you there. Lion Country Kia has 16 available with as low as 0.9% APR for up to 60 months or up to $2,000 in Kia finance rebates. But that's not all. Lion Country Kia has a great selection of Kia Serenos, Sportages, Seltos, and more. There's 84 vehicles ready to move. And many have Kia's Season of New Tradition sales event retail bonus cash as high as $1,000. Happy holidays from the staff at Lion Country Kia, 1334 Driveover Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox State College.
And back here on a Thursday afternoon as we head into a what should be a very fun and busy football weekend. Again, it kicks off tonight with the Fiesta Bowl, and we will have Ole Miss and Miami in the first of the two college football playoff semifinal games. Oregon and Indiana tomorrow night at the Peach Bowl, and then we're into the NFL action Saturday, Sunday, and, of course, the all-important game on Monday night.
If I recall.
Yeah, what are you recalling?
Miami, that loss versus Ohio State was the Fiesta Bowl, right? When they celebrated the national title, but then they called the flag for pass interference.
Yes.
It's not been a good place to play for Miami with us in 87.
Yeah.
And then that game against Ohio State, they lost That was the Fiesta Bowl. So let's
fair.
Let's just keep on going with that.
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that too.
Yeah, I'm okay with that for sure. I do want to mention we will have the NFL playoff games, all of them for you on Sports Radio 98.7 The Fox. Bringing up on my phone to make sure I have the order right. So things will kick off at 4:30 Saturday with the Rams at the Panthers. 4 o'clock airtime, 4:30 kickoff, and then that'll be followed Saturday night by the Packers at the Bears. How's that for an intriguing first-round matchup? 8 o'clock kickoff there. They list the airtime 7:30. They'll transition from the Rams-Panthers to the Packers-Bears game, and then on Sunday we will kick things off with the Bills at the Jaguars.
Baby.
That'll be a 1 o'clock kick, 12:30 airtime on Sunday afternoon. The 49ers will visit Philadelphia.
What?
And that'll be a 4:30 kickoff, 4 o'clock airtime. Sunday night, the Chargers at the Patriots, 8 o'clock kickoff, 7:30 airtime. And then Monday night, stage all to themselves. The Steelers host the Texans. Kickoff at 8:15. Coverage on Monday night will be at 7:30 on Sports Radio 98.7 The Fox. Let's talk about your Eagles. Goon, what are you seeing here in this matchup with the 49ers? Brock Purdy just continues to he's good, man. He is really good, and
he's a Tom Brady like, man.
Yep, and I do think that all of these games are interesting for different reasons. This one is, to me, one of the more fascinating matchups because the 49ers, when they are on, I think they are as good as anybody in the league. Obviously, the Eagles know when they are on. We saw last year what they're capable of doing. I guess in your mind, what are some of the keys here for the Eagles to advance and get the W here on Sunday?
Exploit the 49ers defensive woes right now with injury. I mean, they are very, very, very banged up across the board. And they have been for the last couple of years. It's like people are starting to what is going on? Why are the 49ers have so many big injuries, not like twists and pulls? I mean, we're talking major stuff. So you got to exploit that defense. But I mean, the Eagles have not shown much on offense all season. There have been glimpses. I mean, have the Eagles gotten down to the point where they're like the Kansas City Chiefs the last few years, where it's like we're going to play the regular season at about 80%, and then really turn it on in the playoffs? I mean, I hope that's the case right now for this offense. It goes with as Jalen Hurts goes, and that run game. I mean, the offensive line is, with Lane Johnson, is he back? Is he not back? We don't know. Yes, no. Could he have played last week? I don't know. You come back. I mean, it's not, you miss a few games. I mean, he's missed, 4 or 5 weeks now, probably up to 6 or 7 weeks total.
Yeah.
That's rusty, man. So, I mean, you just don't come back and put your hand in the dirt and all of a sudden you give everything back. I mean, he's great. He's a Hall of Famer, but who knows? Can the offensive line protect Jalen? Can the offensive line and Saquon Barkley get that run game going? The 49ers are damaged on defense. I would just pound them, and then go over the top to the Slim Reaper and the Devontae and Brown and all them. So I like it. I personally, I don't know if Trent Williams is playing the left tackle for the 49ers. If not, that's a huge loss for them. Pulled a hamstring trying to make a tackle on the first play of the game 2 weeks ago. So just think about that. It's crazy. But our defense, the Birds defense is pretty stout, pretty good, but you got to get them off the field. They can't be on the field, 50 minutes or 40 minutes, 45 minutes a game. You got to control the game on offense, and that starts with that run game. So get that run game going, drop them, bury them a little bit with the pass game, and then go from there. But I'm looking off the Eagles now. Just look at the We're looking at the Carolina Panthers in the playoff. The Rams are there. They've been. We got the Carolina Panthers, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Denver Broncos, the New England Patriots. The Texans have been there the last few years, same as the Chargers. But there's a lot of new blood in there, and the NFL is getting what they want, and that is the parity in the league with the draft picks and the salary cap and stuff like that. So I like the new blood being in there. The new blood needs to prove that they can play in the playoffs, though. So until they do that, you got to look down upon that.
Yeah, and I do think that's one of the storylines for me going in. Like, does the Jacksonville just jumps off the page at me because you have a Bills team that they're used to being in the playoffs. They're used to losing to the Chiefs but beating everybody else, and. But Jacksonville earned the home field advantage there. The way they have played, it certainly feels like they are a Super Bowl contender. But can you take care of business in the opening round against a team as good as historically good as the Bills have been, and a quarterback? That's the other thing. Trevor Lawrence has been terrific. Absolutely terrific this season. Playoff pressure is different.
It's different. You have no idea.
Do you handle it the way a Josh Allen can handle it? That game is obviously I'm dialed in on my Steelers, and all of these games are very interesting to me. But if you had to pick one that is the most intriguing to me outside of my team, it is that Jaguars-Bills game, because
a wild card game. Wow.
On one hand, it's like it feels like the way Jacksonville has played this season, that they're a Super Bowl contender. It feels like the way Trevor Lawrence has played, that he can guide them there. It also feels like this is, if not the last chance, at least the last best chance for Buffalo to get to the Super Bowl and to get a ring finally with Josh Allen and company. But would you be surprised? Either way, I don't think a result here would be surprising. I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills go down and lose. Their fans will be devastated, obviously. My gosh, this was the year everything opened up and you end up losing in the first round. But again, Jacksonville's been very good. That's a tough place to play. Just again, weather-wise, it's one. Well, yeah, it's a. What do you mean tough? You're going to warm climate. Well, how warm is it? And it is. It's just different when you're used to playing in one set of elements and you're going to another. Yeah. Even if it's most of us would consider it better from an element standpoint. I don't know. That one is.
That's a great game. It's like you're sitting there, and the Bills are the Bills. They're one of the top teams in the AFC, and they're rocking up against one of the top teams in the AFC now this season in Jacksonville. And Jacksonville's averaging close to 40 a game. The offensive stuff that they're putting up right now, woof, man, woof. That goes a long way when it comes to the playoffs. They're throwing the ball pretty well and throwing it around pretty good. So, if the weather stays nice for Jacksonville, they'd be all right. So I'd be interested to see how Jacksonville does in a cold, wet, snow environment. That's obviously not this week, but it's coming.
Well, and that is one of the interesting components to this wild card weekend as well. To me, is the Texans feel like the better team, right? They're riding the 9-game win streak. Well, absolutely. But the game's at Pittsburgh. Well, that's the home field advantage. I think counts for something.
And no one talks about that missed field goal the other night with the winds that that are down in Acrisure Stadium.
It is a different animal on that side of the field for sure.
When Boswell missed the field goal, I said, "Well, that was definitely the wind, the way it turned." But then you and Alan told me, no, it was blocked.
Yeah,
somebody got a mitt on it. So. What do I know? But Pittsburgh is a definite. That is an issue. The Texans are a indoor team who are going to go out and have to play in the end. They've been doing it all year. We've seen it. Now, don't get us wrong, but it is a different environment when it comes to a Monday night in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Later, it's low 40s, early 30s, high 30 degrees. It's not freezing, but it's not warm, and it's outside on a crap field, man. A lot of stuff can go wrong for them.
Yes.
LA's got to come to Carolina. Think about that. The Rams are playing in Carolina in a playoff game. Wow, man, Carolina, good job.
Well, so again, that one of the interesting things about the wild card round to me is the number of road favorites. So you have the Rams at the Panthers. Rams are obviously the favorite. And so I'm just trying to look up here. I think they're like 10 and a half point favorites.
So in essence, that's 13 and a half when you talk about it from a Vegas standpoint, because the home team gets 3 points.
Yep.
You've heard me tell you that enough, and you know that. So you figure LA is 2 touchdowns ahead of Carolina. Wow.
So the Packers are 1.5 point favorites at Chicago Saturday night. The Bills are 1.5 point favorites at Jacksonville on Sunday. I think San Francisco is an underdog, right?
Yep.
4.5. Eagles are favored there. The home team is favored in that one, and the Patriots are favored 3.5 points over the Chargers, and then the Texans are 3-point favorites over the Steelers. So more of the road teams are favored, and rightfully so. I mean, it's not like there's not good reasons behind that, but it's a little unusual that 4 of the 6 games, it's the road team that is favored in this playoff round. But again, just so much intrigue around Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Can they get that first playoff win in 9 years? Can Rodgers, keep his career going for at least another game? I think, I guess the Chargers-Patriots game is Harbaugh. Like him or not, and eccentric, whatever. Jim Harbaugh gets his teams ready to play, and I think that, it wouldn't be shocking. If
guy wins, man.
Yeah, it does feel going in though. New England at home.
Well,
cross country
it's a new
trip for the Chargers.
Team, that's the way I see it.
And I think Drake May, though, is playing at such a high level.
We don't know how we don't know how.
True, playoff is different.
Yep,
it is. Again, 49ers Eagles game to me really intriguing as well, and the Packers Bears game,
old school rivalry.
Yeah, really fascinating for a bunch of different reasons, including, yes, it's just one of the great traditional rivalries in all of the National Football League. And, both teams playing well. Caleb Williams has turned it on and gone up a couple of levels from where he was a year ago.
I'm eating some crow on that one.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
He's a winner. That's what I'm noticing about him. They're never out of games with him in there.
Yeah,
that's a scary, scary thing.
Yeah, that one fascinating. The Rams at the Panthers might be which isn't to say the Panthers couldn't win it, but on paper that's the least intriguing game to me. I feel going in like I know the Rams are going to win it, but again, you're on the road. Who knows? It's do you get caught up in your own press clippings and all of that stuff? Who knows? That is the least intriguing of a very intriguing weekend to me, though, for the NFL.
I'm just looking at that Steelers game, Jeffrey, and if they got to they got to make Rodgers uncomfortable, and that's what Houston. That's what they do.
They do
do that
yes.
very, very well.
Yep.
So if they can block those guys, expect a lot of screens and draws.
Yes,
that quick, 1, 2, 3, gone, to keep those people off of Aaron Rodgers' legs and arm and out of his way and sacking him and beating the crap out of him. Because if they start getting him, again, I said it to you Tuesday. I don't give Chris Collinsworth any credit at all because I don't like Chris Collinsworth at all. But he did say Aaron Rodgers is way too comfortable back here. He was throwing dimes, dude.
He was.
I mean, if that Steelers team that played that fourth quarter plays this Monday night, the Texans are going to go home pounded.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have that opportunity is the problem. I do think with the Texans defense. And so, and that's the thing. We talk about it in college football a lot, but it's the same thing with the NFL. Every week, every game really is a season unto itself in that it's about the matchups with that particular team. And sometimes you can take advantage of some things against one team that you can't against another team. Again, to me, going into this thing, what I'm hoping for, because I think it's going to be hard for the Steelers to get the run game going right out of the gate. But I think the short passing game will be there. Now, normally what you count on with a short passing game is, hey, all right, and let's create some extra yards there with the yards after catch, which certainly you're hoping for and could happen. But man, the track record with the Texans this season, they are as good or better than anybody in the league at not allowing those yards after catch. And so the two things that the Steelers need is Rodgers to deliver the ball quickly, make the right read and then the right throw, because when you're throwing quickly and the other team knows it, right, you can get routes jumped, and that is the concern. You can get a pick six in those situations. But to me, going into it, that's what the Steelers need to do. They need to get the quick, short passing game going early and see if that can open up some things for the running game and or, getting some downfield opportunities later as the game progresses. But you have two really good pass-catching tight ends. You have DK Metcalf back. You have Kenneth Gainwell, who is really good out of the backfield catching the ball. So you have options. Calvin Austin, you'd love to see them get the running game going early. I mean, I'm not saying you don't try that. I'll be surprised, pleasantly so, if they're able to, hey, yep, we're just going to grind out 4 or 5 yards at a time and consistently get that with that Steelers front going against defensive front. That just feels unlikely. Not impossible, but unlikely. And again, to me, the Steelers just have to make the routine plays routinely. Rodgers has to be on and has to, when it is a short pass, make sure, again, it's getting there without anybody else getting to it before your intended receiver. And then the thing has driven you crazy if you're a Steelers fan offensively really is the dropped passes more than anything, more than the protection, more than anything. It's man, he's delivered the ball and got it in a spot where the receiver can make a play, and they're just not making them. So to me, the Steelers need to make the catches very consistently to give themselves a chance Monday night. And then hope that, again, as the game progresses, they're able to open some things up. And then the defense not give up the big plays that it has been wont to do. Not allow the opposing receivers to get 5 yards behind anybody on the defensive side. They've got to obviously get pressure on Stroud, but the danger there is, and we've seen it a lot with the Steelers, where they get pressure and then the quarterback's able to take off up the middle and get a 10, 15-yard clip. That's going to be difficult to overcome for the Steelers if that happens as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if Rodgers on Monday night is skipping like he does when he's on,
yeah,
that's going to be a long night for the Houston Texans.
And listen, Boswell's a nice nice little item to have in your hip pocket if you're the Steelers as well.
In that win, yeah, of course. I still don't think that kick was blocked. The extra point was blocked. I mean, you and Allen are making it up to cover up for Boswell's mess up.
Bos wouldn't mess up. He wouldn't do that.
Nah, just a great weekend, honest to God. I mean, starting the night. I mean, what do you got? Who you go? I mean, I know we talked about
I'm really going more with my heart. I have Ole Miss and Indiana.
7. We got 8 games.
Yeah, if you really put me to it,
Yeah.
I think Miami is going to win the game tonight. I'm not going to be shocked, and I'm pulling for Ole Miss. So I'm picking Ole Miss, but again, if you put truth serum in me,
I can't believe
I think Miami's gonna. They are just such a, as you mentioned earlier, they're just such a physical team.
Yeah.
The continuity I do think matters at this stage of the season.
They embarrassed.
But I will say Ole Miss just, they are so dialed in and they have such a chip on their shoulder. And the quarterback is just so fun to watch, but he is also a little dangerous. He's one of those guys that it's, Brett Favre-esque in that, man, he's going to make plays for you, but also there's going to be some mistakes made. And it feels like this is a game where you just can't have those mistakes made against a team as good as Miami. And if they get a couple of turnovers or win the turnover battle by one or two, I think it's virtually impossible, at least very difficult for Ole Miss to overcome that. Whereas, if you flip it around, I don't think it's as consequential if Miami loses the turnover battle. Not that turnovers always matter, and whoever wins it, that battle has an advantage. It just feels like Miami is better built to withstand a turnover deficit than Ole Miss. Ole Miss, I think, if it loses a turnover battle, it loses the game.
Yeah, and with what's going on, I mean, Miami's from the ACC, so I could not believe what they did to Ohio State. I was taken aback, and I was like, wow. I mean, I was very impressed because I was like, this is an ACC team. They're a bunch of punks, this and that. They lose to SMU. They lost to somebody other crap team, Duke, maybe. I don't know who the heck it was. NC State. I forget who their second loss was against. And then I can't believe what they went out and did, and they just pummeled Ohio State, who I thought was by and far the best team in this country, even though they got spanked by Indiana. I thought that was going to be a wake-up call for them when more it was just this is who they actually were. So, but then I look at the SEC and I say, well, how good is the SEC with Ole Miss doing this and doing that? But the chip on their shoulder right now with their coach and how Kiffin is treating all of this. I mean, like I said, I saw Kiffin go out the night of their football game and being at the LSU women's basketball game and being introduced and walking out the head coach purposely. He did it on purpose just to let everybody know that I'm not watching Ole Miss football. And to me, how could anybody in their right mind leave Ole Miss to go to LSU to play for him? There's going to be a ton of guys doing it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't get it. How can you sit there and say, yeah, you're my guy, man. Jeff, you're my guy. And then, you're playing on a Friday night or a Saturday night or whatever, and, New Year's Day, and you're nowhere to be found. You're a women's basketball game. Yeah. You don't care about me. You don't care about my game and my team and all that. So they have that monster chip on their shoulder. So this is the most of the two games. I really think this is the toss-up one that can go either way. Miami can come in there and physically beat up Ole Miss, but Ole Miss can go in there, and the speed of these two teams is pretty damn impressive.
It is
very impressive. So we got to watch out for that. Can Ole Miss keep up with the physicalness of Miami? It's a big thing. Miami is built on that. I'm watching that Cristobal interview and this and that. He goes, I don't want to return to the U. It was a pretty cool statement he made. He goes, I don't want to go back to the days of the U because they are impossible in today's structure to repeat. You're not going to have a 10-year dynasty. It's not going to happen anymore. He says, this is what we got here. This is our team that we got right here. We're going to be tough. We're going to pound people and this and that, offensive line, defensive line. And then, if you watch that Ohio State game when that kid jumped that screenplay, that was a huge risk on a return for a touchdown early in the game. That was a big risk. I mean, they knew something was coming, but he jumped it. And thank God he intercepted it, because if not, he left his team out there pretty bad, and Ohio State's going to run in there. So it is what it is. So, this team they know what they're doing. And what Miami Miami did to Ohio State alarmed me, and I think that they could do that to Ole Miss because, again, I don't know how good the SEC was this year. I mean, historically, yeah, the last 15, 20 years has been the best conference by far, but I don't know about this year. I really don't. So we'll see, but I think that Miami takes care of business, and then I think that Indiana goes out and just physically beats up Oregon tomorrow night. Just physically takes it from them and takes the game, just like they did out at Outson at Oregon this year. Now Oregon's going to be ready for it. They know they know exactly what Indiana's going to try to do to them, and they're going to be ready for it. But I just think that.
But do you not feel like Indiana is kind of the way I feel going into the game, and I'm wrong all the time. So we'll see how it plays out. But what it feels like to me is, Oregon knows what's coming. I think several of the teams that have played Indiana had a good idea what was coming. It's like Vince Lombardi's Green Bay teams. Yep, we're running the sweep. Well, we know it's coming, and there you go, another successful. Like, it's fine if you know what's coming. It's another thing to actually be able to stop it. And again, Mendoza and those receivers are just so in sync. They are so physical up front that I'm with you. I think Oregon is going to be as prepared as they can be. I think they're going to give Indiana a game and then some. I mean, I think it is going to be a battle, a 4-quarter battle. I just think this Indiana team is built to handle it, and it's like it doesn't matter if you know what's coming. We are going to execute at such a high level that you cannot stop it.
Yes,
kind of what I'm anticipating going into the game. I think it'll be a good competitive game. I think Indiana will win it.
Totally old school with that mentality. I mean, even when I was playing 30 years ago, I mean, you could sit there and, Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, Notre Dame, we were all just copycats of each other. It was like, okay, here comes the power I, tight end to the right. They're going to run the power I. They're going to pitch to the right. I mean, it's coming. Everybody knew it was coming. You hear the linebackers call up, but if everybody on that offensive line, the tight end and fullbacks do their job, you can't stop it.
Yeah, and the thing with Indiana, and we've talked about this, I think, before, but they're just one of the things that Curt Cignetti just does an exceptional job at, and I guess most, if not all, good coaches do it, but it is holding players accountable. And then when you have the buy-in, it's the players holding each other and themselves accountable. And you were talking about it, I think this was before we went on air. Maybe you already mentioned it on air, but when you watch that Indiana team, watch all of their players finish off every play. Like, they are committed to the blocking assignments. They are committed to carrying out the fakes. They are committed to running the right routes. They are committed to coming up and tackling, to making sure they are covering the area they're supposed to be covering defensively. Like, they just are remarkably disciplined in understanding what their assignment is and how important it is that they carry out whatever assignment. Well, this play is going to the other side of the field, and you see it all the time in the NFL. Well, I'm going to kind of take this play off. I know it's going to that side. You don't see that with Indiana. It's like, it's going to the other side of the field, but maybe something's going to happen. I'm going to carry my assignment again, whether it's running my guy all the way down the field or blocking him. Man, the execution is remarkable by that Indiana program.
And I think that an NFL scout, I think Pete Thamel may have reported it, but he talked to an NFL scout. He said that this Indiana team is the most technically sound team that he has seen in a decade.
Is that right?
And that is the team that just goes out and does all the little things right. And Cignetti is hammering them on that.
Yes.
He's old school, man.
Big time. I mean, and they are buying into
it. They bought into it.
In a huge way.
Again,
which is also impressive.
Again, just think about Penn State being in the Final Four for basketball. That is the equivalent to Indiana playing where they are at right now. And they ain't going nowhere. This is not I saw that today that what's his name? The Dallas Mavericks former owner.
Mark Cuban.
Yeah, he announced that he's jumping in more on the NIL for Indiana. Yeah. So, there comes a couple $100 million over the next 10, 20 years. So rich get richer, baby.
There you go. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. Nope. That's for sure.
But we'll see. I mean, you have these technically strong teams, And these guys have all bought in and this and that. But then like 3-4 years from now, when these guys are going there not knowing how bad it was, you see it a lot. I mean, I know that my buddy Sweeney, when he was high school coaching at Derry, he's like, they hadn't won a game in 3 years. And then we go 5 years of going straight to the playoffs. And then all of a sudden, these kids weren't hungry anymore in the regular season because they didn't know what it was like to be losing. And they weren't tough. So we'll see. Nice little run for Indiana right now.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Take a break here. Be back with a final wrap on today's show. You're listening to the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here from Quaker Steak Lube.
From decorating the tree to family dinners, gift exchanges, and get-togethers, the holidays are filled with traditions. Why not start a new one this year with a Kia during the Season of New Tradition sales event at Lion Country Kia? No matter where you're traveling this holiday season, the spacious 7-seater 2025 Kia Telluride can get you there. Lion Country Kia has 16 available with as low as 0.9% APR for up to 60 months or up to $2,000 in Kia finance rebates. But that's not all. Lion Country Kia has a great selection of Kia Serenos, Sportages, Seltos, and more. There's 84 vehicles ready to move. And many have Kia's Season of New Tradition sales event retail bonus cash as high as $1,000. Happy holidays from the staff at Lion Country Kia, 1334 Drywood Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox State College.
And we are back on a Thursday afternoon, heading into a terrific football weekend. Again, college football semifinals tonight and tomorrow night, and then the NFL playoffs over the course of the weekend. We've got Penn State hockey coming up at Pagula Ice Arena against Minnesota tomorrow and Saturday night. We've got Penn State wrestling at home against Rutgers on Saturday. Lady Lion basketball on the road tonight, and Penn State men, of course, at Purdue on Saturday. Lots of good sports action going on, and as we've been saying, fun time of the year. Penguins are back in action tonight. They're on a roll all of a sudden, taking on the Devils tonight. Flyers, I think, are in action tonight against the Maple Leafs.
Correct.
Both those games getting underway.
The new and improved Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, I tell you,
it has been now again, buddy.
It's been an impressive start and then some here to the season for the Flyers. Penguins have been very streaky. We started off hot, went really cold, and in a hot streak right now. See if they can keep it rolling here for
I hope not.
a
Let's
little
hope not.
while.
Let's hope
I
not.
really hope so.
No.
Love those Penguins.
No, sir. All right, let's get into our NFL picks, buddy. I think we're both on the same board. Carolina for sure, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Carolina probably hammers the Rams. No chance for the Rams whatsoever.
Okay, I agree. Oh, for the Rams? No, come on. You're taking Rams?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Bears pack.
I think the Bears at home prevail.
Yeah.
I think
Pack
Chicago.
Beat up, man.
Yep. I think
losing
Chicago
Micah
takes that
at
one.
the defensive end position does not help them whatsoever.
Agree.
And like I said, Caleb Williams is one of those guys. He's going to win. He's going to find a way to at least have a shot at winning. It may not be the most beautiful thing in the world, but he gets it done, man.
Yeah.
And it's I didn't see it. I never saw it.
Yeah.
But I watch it now, and I'm very impressed by it. But that could be exposed. He might not be a PTPer. And then the Green Bay Packers have been in the playoffs the last few years. And they may come out and they may upset the Bears. I mean, the Bears have been playing with fire for a while now. You know, playing late in games and winning late in games or losing late in games. So that'll be an interesting game. But, you're going to go Bears?
Yep, I'm taking the Bears.
I'll go Pack.
I like it.
And I mean, to be honest with you, the Eagles could have won that game the other day and had the Packers and been the 2 seed and would have been guaranteed a second home game if they had won that game against the Commanders or Redskins, whatever the heck we're calling them these days. So if they had done that, they'd have the 2 seed wrapped up. And then they would have started off with the Packers. They would have had the same route as the Bears do right now. But instead, they're playing the 49ers at home. And if the Bears win and the Eagles win and they're still 2-3, we'll see. Interesting to see how that's going to work. But I'll go against you. I'll go with the Pack. Just because they got a little bit of history in the playoffs, and then the Bears really have none.
I like that we're not going on the same page the whole way through. I like that a lot.
Well,
Sunday.
Yep.
Again, to me, the most intriguing of outside of my Steelers, it is that Bills at Jaguars game, and just everything. And I'm probably part of this is I'm picking with my heart because I really do like Sean McDermott and I like Josh Allen, and I if the Steelers don't win, I want the Bills to get a Super Bowl championship. But I do think Kelly's going to will the Bills to a victory. Nothing would shock me in this game in terms of a result, but you
mean Allen?
I think I think Buffalo finds a way to win it.
You went Jim Kelly on me there. I was like, Jesus, what's going on here? But yeah, I'm with you. And that is the same thing with the Packers. And the Bills have been there the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years, so they know how to play playoff games. They know how to win playoff games. Jacksonville has not been there, so we don't know what's going to happen with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We don't know what team's going to show up. We don't know if Sunshine's going to play as great a game as he's been playing the last few weeks. But I like the Bills. obviously because McDermott's from LaSalle. So I got to go. I got to, I'm like you. I do root for the Bills when it comes down to it. So I'll take the Bills in that one. And that's a big if, in my opinion, because they are, the Jags are pretty damn good, man. I'm saying they are putting points on everybody. So we'll see how they do against the Buffalo Bills.
I will say that pick is I'm least confident in. Not that I'm overly confident with any of them, but that one that is a toss-up to me in every which way. 49ers, Eagles, we're both San Francisco's going to hammer them. I think we agree on that, right? No? We're not in agreement?
I think the Birds. Offense.
What do you have as a score there?
I think the Birds by 10 plus, honestly.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think that the Birds offense is going to show up. And San Fran, they're on the road. Like we talk about, long travel.
It is.
It's not going to be a bad weather game, not going to be that cold. But the Eagles have been, Super Bowl champions, so they've been there. And I think that they're going to be, all right, this is like the turn-up time. So we're going to see how veteran they are if they can actually not play 100 million% the last couple weeks of the season and turn it on during the playoffs. So we're going to see how that works and if it does work, or was it just an off season, a bad season for the offense if they don't show up this week. So I'll go Birds. I got a Birds by 10 plus.
I think it'll be a much closer game, but I ultimately think the Eagles find a way to get it done as well.
The Niners defense, it just can't hold up physically out there. If they are out there running the ball and being physical, they can get the job done very easily. So love the game. It's going to be a good one. And then we got Sunday night.
Yep. Patriots hosting the Chargers in Foxborough. That crowd will be a little revved up, I do suspect.
A couple of years waiting for it.
And a really intriguing quarterback match up there. I'm interested to see how both of those guys perform in that game on Sunday night. And because of Herbert, I feel like the Chargers have a shot. I also, though, I don't think they're going across the country and beating the New England team that's playing as well as it is defensively, and Drake May playing as well as he is a quarterback. I think the Patriots ultimately prevail.
I got the Pats in that one too. It's crazy, but because Herbert, with the busted up left hand, he took last week off. We don't know what we're going to get out.
Well, that's the other. Yeah,
you have no idea how bad that is or what he's going to be like. And I think that the run and pass game that the Pats are bringing on offense, it's tough to match up with when guys can do both very well. And if you got Drake May in there and he needs to make a play, he's out there making plays already. So it's a coming out party for him, for the Pats, the Jaguars. I mean, this is their time to shine. I mean, these are teams that are not normally in this, so we're going to see how they're going to do.
We are indeed. Yeah, and the Steelers on Monday night hosting. They're home. Good. Acrisure Stadium.
Nope.
Get the holy water going in those end zones. Houston Texans, a formidable, to say the least, opponent and an absolutely sensational defense that Houston brings in. I'm obviously not going to bet against my Steelers. I have Pittsburgh winning it, but they have their work cut out. That is for sure. But I think Aaron Rodgers finds a little magic when he needs to. I think the Steelers get a long field goal or two that helps the cause along the way. And I think they eke one out here. I think it'll be very similar, hopefully not quite as heart-stopping as that Ravens game, but I think it'll be similar in terms of, this is going to be a nail-biter right down to the final seconds. But as they did against the Ravens, I think the Steelers do find a way to prevail.
If Aaron does it, he's got to do it. So I just think that, like I said a couple times this week now, that Houston's D-line will get after him, so he needs to be ready for that with the quick drop-offs, quick screens, draws, all of that stuff. And if they're doing Short drop back late in the second half, down 14 points, he's in trouble.
No,
he's
that
going,
we agree
he's going
on.
to get smacked around, and he ain't going to want to play no more. It might be his last game ever played. So I'm going to go with the Texans. Sorry.
Not an unreasonable pick.
Sorry.
I
So we
will
have three
say.
differences. I got
was
the
it
Packers, the Eagles. Well, you went 49ers, right?
No.
You
I'm
went
going Eagles.
Okay,
I
so
think it'll be a much closer.
It's the
game,
Packers
but-
and the Steelers is what the two games we
Oh,
have
yeah.
different.
Yep. Yeah.
Interesting, Jeffrey. Interesting.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun weekend to see how everything finishes up.
You think they're going to be all right wrestling?
If I was, I do, but I think there's going to be some good matchups there. Certainly the potential is there for a shutout. I think Rutgers, has depending on what Penn State does at 141, Rutgers probably on paper you would say has a shot, a reasonable shot in three matches. But the way this Penn State team is wrestling, Goon, it's just special what Cale has going on. And he mentioned it yesterday. He was, I thought, really forthcoming in the media session yesterday morning, and just very relaxed. And not that you ever see a tensed up Cale Sanderson in front of the media, but he knows what he has, and I think he mentioned it a couple of times, and I do think this is, which isn't to say that they will never lose anybody off of this team to the transfer portal, but he mentioned a couple of different times that this team they are buying into. They are here for the right reason being they want to become the best wrestler they can. And they're not focused on whether they're a starter. They're focused on whether they can ultimately become a national champion if they get that shot, a world champion or an Olympic champion down the road. And so, I was thinking about it a little bit after the interview. And I mean, it's been a passing thought here or there before, but I do wonder if so, how many guys could or will either not crack the starting lineup or maybe start for a season or two, but even maybe a season or not be a starter in that Penn State lineup and still go on to international success. And I'm going to say international success is medaling at either a world championship or an Olympics.
No big
and
deal.
Really even making, I should probably just say making a world team
Roster,
or an
yeah.
Olympic team. I mean, getting on one of those U.S. squads. And there's a handful of guys there that I think it is possible that it could play out that way. Joe Seeley is certainly good enough to go win at any level of competition. And he may end up in the starting lineup at some point here for Penn State. But certainly when you look at what Penn State has, it is possible that he won't be in the starting lineup. And again, you're talking about a guy that is elite. I think Connor Mirasol is in a similar situation where that guy could have all kinds of international success, but not crack the starting lineup, or maybe only crack it for a year in his Penn State career. But
and these guys are cool with that because they know.
Well, and Cale kind of was more assertive. I mean, he's said it more in a roundabout way before, and it wasn't that he said, "I guarantee these guys stay" or anything, but it was that. These guys are here because they're seeing the big picture and they're understanding that while it is really hard to crack the starting lineup. I mean, again, when you have a Joe Seeley that can't crack your starting lineup, for crying out loud, I don't understand. That is, on one hand, preposterous, right? But what Cale was saying is these guys while they want to be the starter for sure, and make no mistake, all of those guys are here because they want to be in the starting lineup. They want to go win national titles, all of it. But they also are seeing, hey, I'm still part of something special, and I can still ultimately get to my goals by being part of this program, by continuing to learn from these coaches and these teammates and the the other guys around the program, the club members. So
wrestling has late
it
bloomers.
Is for sure. It's just a very unique and special situation. But anyways,
we've said it in the past. I want you to say it again. If Penn State's backups were a team, where would they finish in the Nationals?
Yeah, if it was their non-starters, you put together a roster of non-starters from this year's team, probably be I'd feel very confident that they'd be top 5 at the NCAAs, and that's presuming Penn State's A team is in there. If you took Penn State's A team, the starters that they have this year, and you just said Penn State's non-starters go with.
Yeah,
and that's who represents Penn State. I think they'd be top 3, and I wouldn't rule out the possibility of them winning the title. Now, again, part of that is you've got to understand that when I'm qualifying non-starter versus backup, because you can't really call Ono or Kasak a backup. They're not starting this year. They're redshirting, but they're not really backups. So again, when you look at that, and if you, again, depending on how things play out, you throw in either a Nate Desmond or a Braden Davis, presumably one or the other won't now be redshirting. But again, if you threw in a healthy Aaron Nagel then as a non-starter, again, a healthy rest of the Penn State team, I think would be in contention. I really do for a national title anyway. Awesome. All right, that is going to wrap things up today. We hope you have a great weekend. We will be back on Tuesday with another edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead Show. Until then, be good and be safe.
From decorating the tree to family dinners, gift exchanges, and get-togethers, the holidays are filled with traditions. Why not start a new one this year with a Kia during the Season of New Tradition sales event at Lion Country Kia? No matter where you're traveling this holiday season, the spacious 7-seater 2025 Kia Telluride can get you there. Lion Country Kia has 16 available with as low as 0.9% APR for up to 60 months or up to $2,000 in Kia finance rebates. But that's not all. Lion Country Kia has a great selection of Kia Sorentos, Sportages, Seltos, and more. There's 84 vehicles ready to move. And many have Kia's Season of New Tradition sales event retail bonus cash as high as $1,000. Happy holidays from the staff at Lion Country Kia, 1334 Driverwood Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again, The Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America. 98.7